How to test your emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is the number one most important thing in relationships, the number one skill set we can work on to get great ones, and the number one most important thing to a happy and effective life. Welcome to Life Hack Line, the channel that roars the secrets of life. Make sure to watch the video until the end because you don't want to miss a single thing. And if you don't know us yet, we at Life Hack Line are specialized in creating life hack ideas, tips and tricks, content that are fun and can absolutely make your life easier. Contrary to some misconceptions, emotional maturity is not about self-mastery and self-development. Mature people may pursue these, but they have nothing to do with emotional maturity. Someone can be very ambitious and hardworking, yet still lack any semblance of emotional maturity. The number one sign of emotional maturity: taking responsibility of ourselves, our mistakes, our emotions, our needs, and our wants, and perhaps most importantly, our feelings and responses to things. If you read and absorb nothing else, just make it this: the most important thing is taking responsibility. This is not the same as blaming ourselves. Being a martyr is equally emotionally immature. The solution is simply to ask ourselves, what can we do to fix this, or what can I do differently? It's understanding the difference between what we can control, only ourselves, and what we don't, other people. Some people are better able to control and understand their emotions than others, and even the most emotionally intelligent among us can get caught up in moments of emotional immaturity. That's because one size does not fit all when it comes to our response to conflict, betrayal, and other relationship challenges. Our upbringing, life experiences, and our natural disposition all shape the way we respond to difficult situations. There's a simple way to access your level of emotional development or emotional age. First, ask yourself this question. When someone on whom you depend emotionally lets you down, disappoints you, or leaves you hanging in uncertainty, what is your characteristic way of responding? Then consider how you respond. There are 3 methods of responding that indicate emotional immaturity. 1. Deciding to sulk. When we become upset with someone we're close to, our first reaction is often to deny there's anything wrong, choosing instead to hint passive-aggressively that something's wrong. But when we withhold the reason for why we're mad at someone, we prevent the conflict from ever being solved. We hope against hope that another person might simply magically understand what they have done and fix it without us needing to speak. Rather, as an infant who hasn't yet mastered language might hope a parent would spontaneously enter their minds and guess what was ailing them. The emotionally mature solution: practice clear communication. Instead of acting passive, make an effort to mindfully communicate to your friend, partner, or family member what it is that they've done to upset you and why your feelings were hurt. With a bit of luck, we will find the words to make ourselves understood by someone whom we can remember. Deep down, even at this moment of stress, is not our enemy. Number 2, reacting with rage. Sometimes when we're angry at someone or something, we explode at the first person we come into contact with. Yelling and creating a scene may make us feel powerful in the moment, but at the root of this kind of outburst is fear of losing control and usually a whole lot of unexplored pain. Our insults and viciousness are, in their coded ways, admissions of terror and defenselessness. The emotionally mature solution: learn to trust. Rather than giving in to your first hot-tempered instinct, pause and consider what you really need in the moment. Often, what we need most is the time and space to vent to a supportive friend. Working through our anger more slowly allows us to resolve it reasonably and gives other people involved a chance to be heard. An emotionally mature person has the confidence not to need to shout immediately, to give others the benefit of every doubt, and not to assume the worst and then hit back with undue force. Number 3, going cold. When someone hurts our feelings or does us wrong in some way, it's tempting to ice them out and pretend our relationship with them never meant anything to us. Who amongst us hasn't sent a call from someone we're mad at straight to voicemail? It takes a lot of courage to admit to someone who has hurt us that we care, that they have a power over us, that a key bit of our life is in their hands. It may be a lot easier to put up a strenuous wall of indifference. The emotionally mature solution: embrace your vulnerability. In order to fully trust and develop intimate relationships we have with others, we have to find the strength within ourselves to be vulnerable. The mature knows and have made their peace with the idea that being close to anyone will open them up to being hurt. Many adults never learn the language of emotional maturity. Communication, trust, and vulnerability can be learned as a child, growing up in a supportive and nourishing, emotionally aware home. But at least half of us weren't brought in the land of emotional literacy and will have to learn it ourselves. This is akin to the difference between growing up speaking a foreign language and having to learn it over many months as an adult. Signs of emotional maturity and ways to build it. Number 1, recognize and admit when you're wrong. It's far easier to get defensive and deny responsibility or become overwhelmed with shame for our act of imperfection or ignorance. Being able to acknowledge when we're in the wrong takes humility, self-compassion, and courage. Number 2, recognize and accept your own feelings and needs. Some of us struggle by wallowing too much in our emotions but giving them too much authority in our lives. Others struggle by denying our feelings altogether, which is impoverished in another way. Number 3, recognize that your feelings don't run the show. We are not victims of our own lives. People are not out to get you or hurt you. The universe has not conspired to bring you down, break your heart, or make you sad. Life is only partly what happens to us and mostly how we respond to it. We choose our reaction and viewpoint. Number 4, set healthy boundaries. Being mature means stating what is acceptable to you and what you will and will not allow. Once you define that line, defend it. Don't let anyone cross it. Boundaries are important because when they are set, our character also sets, becoming more resistant to nonsense and drama. When someone charges ahead and breaks through our boundaries, we are compromised. Don't kid yourself. We suffer emotionally and can sustain lifelong damage. Don't assume people will know your limit either. It's your job to tell them. Number 5, pause between feeling and reacting. Think it through. Through practicing mindfulness, we can increase the amount of time between feeling an emotion and reacting to it. We gain a sense of spaciousness with regards to how we observe our emotions. Rather than clinging to our feelings immediately and reacting instinctively, we learn how to first observe and then react more carefully and productively. Number 6, love defined as compassion. Judgment is at the heart of hate. It is what fuels unhealthy relationships with ourselves and others. If you've learned or are learning how to be more compassionate, not just to others but also to yourself, you're moving closer to enlightenment. One does not fall in love, one grows into love, and love grows within. Number 7, composure, grit, and ability to endure setbacks. Life is going to be full of problems. The acceptance of this allows mature people to stay calm and think more clearly during life's more difficult moments. The whole process of meeting and solving problems is what gives life its deeper meaning. Mature people have established an emotional intelligence necessary to understand that life's difficulties are the cutting edge of what distinguishes one from being a success or a failure. Number 8, honesty and integrity. Mature people live with high integrity. They are committed to knowing, hearing, and working within the truth no matter how hurtful or stressful that truth may be. Mature people are also willing and committed to telling the truth even when it is humiliating and difficult for oneself or another. Number 9, don't make it personal. Often done of defense because we assume the former that whatever they said or did was a personal attack on us. We often retaliate in like kind, but this isn't an emotionally mature response, especially given that we're often wrong. Most of the things we assume are personal but actually aren't. In short, maturity is a choice for everyone. The more you value who you are and what you have to offer, the more responsible you will be in taking care of yourself. Think this guide helped? Or do you have any suggestions for our next video? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Lifehack Lion and make sure to hit that notification bell to be the first to watch our new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and until our next roaring Lifehack Lion video.